This video will show you a traffic source most affiliates ignore, and this is Taboola. My name is Marcel Sattler, I'm the founder of nativeadvertising.net, and I spent multiple six figures in testing Clickbank offers with Taboola. In this video, you will learn why native makes so much sense and why it could be your chance to make way more money than ever before in 2025. By the way, we also have a very easy and simple to follow video course about this. It's about how you can launch your first profitable native ad campaign with Taboola and Clickbank in just 48 hours. But now back to the topic. So first things first, why native works so great and why the majority of affiliates are afraid to try Taboola. The answer is simple. So it works fantastically because the CPMs, the cost per mils, are way cheaper than all the other platforms you know out there. And especially for topics like health related, skincare, whatever, it works extremely well because you can advertise way more aggressive and you can send people not just straight to the offer page, but also to an editorial, which is basically a bridge page in between your ad and your offer, which is like sales copy, but it looks like a newspaper article. Because always keep in mind where people are getting in touch with native ads. They read an article and then they finish reading, they scroll down at the bottom of the page and then they see this might be interesting for you. And then they pre-select something which takes their attention, and then they just click into it. So instead of you pushing your ads to someone and hope they will click on it, it's very different. It's like, you suck them into your funnel. So it's a very different intention and therefore it doesn't feel pushy, but it scales like crazy. When I mean it scales like crazy, daily budget of 30, 40, 50 grand per day in one country with one product are definitely doable. So the intention is very different because on social media, everything is fast scrolling. You need to be on point, snappy, crispy, easy to understand. Native is a bit different. You have a different audience. The audience is older than on social. You have people between 35, 40 plus until 60, 70. So you have an older audience, a more mature audience. That means they have more money and it's like less fast. It's like not bam, 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 snappy like on TikTok. You don't have this ad burn, ad fatigue like on TikTok. You can more compare it like with a big container vessel, a big container ship, This big container ship takes a while. If it's going out from the harbor, it takes a while until this big boat has 22 knots. But as soon as this big ship has 22 knots, it takes kilometers or miles to stop it to zero. And here it's the same. As soon as you have momentum with Taboola ads and your Clickbank offer, it's almost unstoppable. As mentioned before, you can advertise way more aggressively, like with before and after images and a lot of things which are highly restricted on Facebook. And Clickbank offers are great for this because a lot of them, they are more aggressive on the offer page. A lot of them have long video sales letters, and here you can prepare the people. You can tell them in an editorial before, hey, look, Dr. ABC is saying this, check out the video, take some time, check it out now. So you have a very different intention, a very different audience. Like this audience is actually willing to sit there and watch your VSL for 15, 20, 25 minutes, whatever it takes. So we have tested in the past weeks 5 different Clickbank offers, and we spent more than 10 grand in each offer. We are offering you something very unique for a very low investment. You can access all this knowledge, how you launch your first profitable and scalable Taboola ad with your Clickbank offer in just 48 hours. Very simple, very easy to understand. I will show you exactly what offers are converting, what kind of ads are converting, how to take care of the tracking, basically everything you need. And now, the best thing, it's just $37. Yes, you hear right. It's nothing super crazy, upsell, cross-sell, whatever. No, it's very simple, very straightforward. $37, definitely worth it. So if you're interested, check it out in the link. But now back to the topic. So let me break it down how a native ad campaign looks like for your Clickbank offer. So let me break it down to show you exactly how a campaign looks like. First, you have the ad. And usually one ad contains 3 images and 3 headlines. EMG. So overall, you do have 9 ads because 3 by 3 is 9. Afterwards, you do have the editorial usually. And as mentioned before, the editorial is optional, but the editorial is a page which looks like a newspaper article. And the main goal of the editorial is that people are getting convinced. We have very cold audience. Native is always, when we look into a funnel, native is always here, top of the funnel. Top of the funnel. This is native. Meta, everything else like YouTube ads, meta ads, whatever is usually here, middle of the funnel, because there's a very smart algorithm like Meta and all the big players here. They have a huge and very smart algorithm. So they play in this field, middle of the funnel. Therefore, it just makes sense to provide them good creatives, but it's limited when it comes to scaling. This is why when you try to scale on Meta, it always crashes down the CPA. So always when you try to scale, if you want to scale, the result is the CPA explodes, unfortunately. And that's the difference. So as soon as you crack native, you're here totally top of the funnel. And that means you're able to convert very cold traffic within a few clicks to a person who is ready to buy. And that's a huge gift. If you're able to do this, if you're able to learn this, you're very, very gifted, because then you can basically run every offer, because then once you understood once the structure behind, if you understood once the mechanisms here behind, that's super simple for you to scale almost every offer and print money like crazy. And now next step here is from the editorial, you link to the offer page, product page, PEP, whatever you want to call it. And afterwards you make the sale. In a majority of cases, everything is provided by the platform. And as mentioned before, I tested for you 5 very well converting offers, which are definitely working in combination with cold Taboola traffic. And you see here, you need way less things. You just need headlines and you basically need images. Very simple to create. You can create it within a few minutes. And from the starting perspective, it's very important to keep a few things in your mind. So whenever you start, you need to separate all the devices. So there's mobile, which is like Android, iOS. Then you have tablet traffic and you have desktop traffic like Mac, Windows, whatever. And you usually split the device per campaign. So one campaign for mobile, one campaign for tablet, one campaign for desktop. This makes sense because all of these platforms, they have different bits, they have different conversion rates. So a desktop click, for example, the CPC of a desktop click is way more expensive than the click from a mobile Android smartphone. So you can start even with smaller budgets. But little disclaimer here, you should not start if you just have like $20, $30 daily budget. So the minimum budget I recommend are $80 per day. This is the minimum budget you should start with. This is basically one campaign. One campaign, I would recommend you here a mobile campaign with all devices like Android and iOS, and then you basically have a very broad funnel. So this is basically your funnel, and then the job of you will be in the next days to narrow it down. So you have, for example, 9 ads. Let's make it like this. These are your 9 ads, and then you need to check the numbers. And native ads is a simple numbers game. You know, you don't have crazy algorithms. It's very simple mathematics here in the background. Super easy, super simple to understand if you crack the code once. So these 9 ads are running, and after a couple of days you see, for example, let me just change the color quickly. You see, okay, this one is not performing great. This one is not performing great, so you turn it off. Then you see, okay, this one is coming up. This one looks also fantastic. Here I got some cheap conversions already. So what you are going to do then is you take these samples here basically, and you create something like a lookalike. So you duplicate basically the ad idea here. And with this, you generate better and better results. When I mean you duplicate the ad idea, let's say you have an image, and in the image, like there's a product in the background and a person in the foreground. And then you have a woman there in the foreground as a portrait image. Then you just can take next time a family, you can take next time a guy. If you have a blonde girl, take a brunette girl, you know, this is kind of different iterations. But with this, you can try to get better and better results every day. And the same, what I did here now, with the ads, you can do, or you need to do in order to get profitable with your publishers. So you run on hundreds of publishers, and you need to be very strict here and turn off what's not going to work. And with this, you narrow it down. So you're getting more and more profitable every day because you turn off what's not going to work. And that ensures to make more money every day. Also, a little disclaimer here, keep in mind on the very first day, you might not be profitable. So native is not a traffic source to get profitable on the very first day. It will take 1 or 2 weeks. So don't stress out here, it's very normal. But as mentioned, why I love native, it's very simple to understand. It's just numbers. It's no crazy algorithm, which is basically a black box. Everything is easy, understandable, and optimizable. And you just need to understand your data and just analyze it and make it better. So in a nutshell, let me conclude it a bit. In a nutshell, Taboola and Clickbank, the combination can be extremely profitable for you. And as mentioned before, you can start within just 48 hours. Very simple, very low key. If you want to do this, check out our new course. We just launched it. It's just a one-time investment of $37 and it's straight to the point.